As a reseller, I tend to sell a lot of shoes. One problem that arises out of selling a lot of shoes is having a lot of shoes in your inventory and trying to figure out what to do with them all until they actually sell. So in today's video, I'm going to share with you guys how I designed and built my very own DIY shoe storage shelf for my reselling business. It holds about 70 pairs of shoes. It was pretty easy to build and it only cost me like $35 in materials. You guys should be able to do this for yourself if you're needing something like this for your business, and I'm really excited to share it with you guys today. So I actually started making this video like 3 or 4 months ago, and I just kept having setback after setback, and it's just little things that kept going wrong, and I was getting pretty discouraged. So I've had this video saved in my files for a while. I'm finally finishing it up and ready to share it with you guys. So I'm gonna play the footage from a couple months ago where I started making this video, and I'll do some like voiceovers to tell you what I did wrong and how I can fix it. So here we go. What's up, you guys? My name's Josh, also known as Harry Tornado. If this is the first time you're finding my channel, I'm a part-time reseller, which basically means I buy stuff at thrift stores, Goodwill, and yard sales and sell them on eBay. The area you see behind me is where I put my listed inventory once it's listed on eBay and it's just stored away. The problem with this is that my shoe section is getting a little out of hand. Originally, I just had 2 shelves here, and I was gonna put a single layer of shoes down each end. And then I found this little shelf on Facebook Marketplace for $5. I was like, oh, this will be perfect. But then I just kept listing more and more shoes and more shoes and more shoes. So in this video, I'm going to be taking all of this down and just totally reworking this area. I want to build a custom shelving unit to fit on this wall perfectly. I just want to maximize this wall to get more storage out of it, so I can put have a space for each pair of shoes individually so they're easier to find, and make room for more shoes in the future. Shoes sell pretty well for me, so it's something I always look for in thrift stores. So I just need to maximize this space and make it as easy as possible for my reselling business to grow. That's what we're doing today. If you guys enjoyed this video, be sure to give it a big thumbs up. It really helps me out a ton. And if you haven't already, consider subscribing to my channel. I make new reselling videos at least twice a week. But with that being said, let's get right into it. So the first step in this project is going to be just clearing off all the stuff. I'm going to take all the shoes, put them in a box or multiple boxes, depending on what fits, and just clear the wall off. I'm also going to take these shelves off the wall. They're currently screwed into the wall studs. So once we get everything cleared and off the wall, I'll go back and measure it so we know exactly what kind of dimensions we'll need for our new shelf. Okay, so we got the shelves. We got the shelves removed from the wall, and we're gonna go to Lowe's and buy some supplies. So let's get it. So my first mistake in making this video was that I didn't record anything at Lowe's. I brought my camera and I thought I was recording, but nothing was there. I don't know. It was a mistake. So here's a list of things you need. You need 6 8-foot long 2x4s. In the video, I said I bought 3 and I needed 4, but you actually need 6 8-foot long 2x4s. You need a box of 2.5-inch nails. The first nail I bought, which you will see in a second does not work, is this like 2 1/4 inch nails. I don't know. They're just not quite long enough. So you need 2.5-inch nails longer than this. I actually went back to the store and I was mad. I was like, I'm gonna buy the longest freaking nails possible so I don't have this issue again. And I bought these. These are too big. Just buy nails that are in between this size and this size. Somewhere, between those two. 2.5 inches, 2 3/4, somewhere around there. And you also need 14 cedar fence pickets. These are really cheap. I think I paid like 97 cents a piece for these. You can use like a more sturdy wood for the actual shelf if you want, but I think because it's shoes and nothing's really super heavy, the fence picket should work fine. So, just got back from Lowe's, and Dumb Hair Tornado only bought 3 of these 2x4s. I should have bought 4. So instead of making the shelf like 6 feet tall, we're gonna have to cut these in half. So I actually don't know what I was thinking here. Cutting the wood in half because I didn't have the right amount was a terrible idea. I ended up just scrapping all this, and I went back to Lowe's and bought the right amount of wood. So it didn't say here, but you're going to want to cut 2 of your 2x4s into 14 pieces that are all 11 inches long. Okay,
Sorry if it's loud. I had to move the fan because it's hot. It's freaking hot. It's just hotter than you could ever imagine. So basically, we're making a ladder. So you take one of the little pieces we cut, and you just hammer it with 2 nails onto the ends. When you're doing this, just make sure that like it's flush on this side, like relatively flush, and that the spaces up here are equal. You can measure them if you want, but I'm just eyeballing it. This is going to be the world's worst shelf. Okay, so the problem here is that the nails I bought are not long enough, as you can see. So when I was hammering down there, this thing came undone. So, I guess what I have to do is use these screws that I used to put the old shelf into the wall. I guess we'll have to do that because I don't even feel like making this video. So you can see there I kind of got depressed and kind of gave up on the video, but I wanted to show you the actual shelf, the bottom of it, so you can see what I'm talking about with building the ladder. It's hard to put into words, so I just want to show it to you to give you a better idea of how to start it out. Basically the shelf, like the edges of the shelf are going to be these two 2x4s on either side. And when I'm saying building a ladder, you're basically just hammering these like 11-inch sections of 2x4s onto the 2 posts of the other 2x4s. So all I did was I laid the 2 2x4s down and nailed the 11-inch board to the edge where it's flush on both sides, like I showed in the video. I did that on both of them, and then I added these 2 fence pickets, nailed onto the shelf. So basically the 11-inch sections of 2x4 are just something to hold the shelf off the ground a little bit, And once you have the first shelf done, I just used a spacer, which was actually like a board game or something I had, and then nailed the next board here in the same height on the other side, and then did the next shelf. So I hope this is explaining it a little bit better. It's nothing fancy, but it is working for me so far. So let's get back to the video. And also, you don't want to use those short nails. Those were 1 7/8 inch nails that I was trying to nail through a board that was like 1 7/8 inch thick. So again, you want to use a nail that is at least 2.5 inches long. Then in this next part, I was using my wife's hammer, this pink monster here, because I couldn't find mine. I've got a nice manly hammer here. This is a nice framing hammer, but I couldn't find it when I was making the shelf. So please excuse the pink hammer in the video. So you can see here what I'm talking about when I'm using that Trivial Pursuit board game as a spacer. You just lay it down and put the wood on top of it. You'll see it here. Put the wood on top of it. That way both of the pieces of 11-inch 2x4s on either side are going to be the exact same distance from the previous shelf. You can see here, once you have the 11-inch boards nailed into place, you literally just take the fence picket and lay it on top and nail it onto each side. Here, I just ran out of the 11-inch sections of 2x4, so I'm just cutting some more. And again, here I am using that board game just to get that uniform distance in between each shelf. Okay, so basically what happened there is that when I put up the frame of the 2x4s, I needed to have some rigidity to it so it would actually stay while I built the shelves. So I did the bottom shelf first, and then I put a little shelf up top. The issue was that the second board I put up top, I didn't nail it down on this side. So when I was hammering over on this side, the board just came loose and came falling down. So I just popped that out. Now I only have one board up there. And it really doesn't matter. I don't really plan on putting shoes up there. It's just to give the frame some more rigidity.
So once I started putting the shoes actually on the shelf, I realized that I could get a lot more space if I rotated the shoes, like one facing forward and one facing backwards, so they fit nicely together. And I was able to fit about 10 to 12 pairs of shoes on each shelf.
So there you have it, guys. That's the shoe shelf. It turned out pretty good. I'm saying you could fit 70 pairs on this because, like I said, I can fit roughly 10 pairs on each shelf. So 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, and then you can easily fit another shelf there. I just haven't done it yet. 60, and then you could put 10 shoes on top with another board. So the materials list, I said you needed 14 of these fence pickets. So that's 2 on each shelf. So that gives you enough wood for 7 shelves. So 10 shoes per shelf, 70 shoes. I was worried that these fence pickets weren't going to be strong enough because they're pretty like flimsy, but cedar is a very strong wood. It's just flexible. And even with, these heavy boots and, like these heavy men's shoes up here, the shelf still like isn't really bending at all. And because I'm keeping this in my garage, it's not exposed to the weather, so it should be fine over the years. And again, these were only 97 cents a piece. So even if, they start drooping a lot over the years, I can always just, take them down and replace them with new boards. If you want to do more steady boards, you could do like a 1x6 pine board, I guess. But those are like probably $8 to $10 a piece, and you need 2 for each shelf. So again, this was just like a budget DIY shoe shelf. So I've purchased those plastic shoe shelves on Amazon for $20 or $30, and they just did not hold up very well at all. And I just didn't like it. They were super flimsy. So, I built this. It doesn't really take a lot of skill now that I actually have it planned out. So hopefully this video helped you guys. Again, all you need is the materials, a hammer and nail. You can get all the wood cut for you at Lowe's. So, the 4 corner posts are all just 8 feet long all the way to the top. These wooden sections are, if it'll focus, those wooden sections are 11 inches each, and you need 14 of those, and then you need 14 of these fence pickets, and then you just nail everything together. So it's working out for me in my business, and if you are, shopping for a shoe shelf, maybe you'll consider just building your own. It doesn't really take up that much room, and you can, kind of make it however long you want. If you don't need something that's 6 feet long like these are, these fence pickets are 6 feet long. If you don't need something that long, you can cut them down, get Lowe's to cut them down for you if you don't have a saw, or you can try to find longer boards and make it longer. So this is working out for me. So sorry about my big pile of cardboard boxes. Ignore that. But thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you on the next one.